Yesterday, the coronial inquest heard Manharon Monus's life goal was achieving significance. In the months before the attack, Monus bought a motorbike and attempted to join the Mount Druitt chapter of the Rebels bikie gang, but was refused membership after the bikies decided he was too weird. Facing a potentially lengthy sentence for sexual and indecent assault, the Rebels took Monus's bike and moved him on. The inquest will continue over the next 2 weeks. And claims of workplace bullying amongst doctors and surgeons were aired last night on ABC's Four Corners. According to reports, some trainee doctors are under attack from their supervisors, continually ask questions in front of patients until they get one wrong, and 1 in 5 medical students have had thoughts of suicide. Accusations were also personally levelled at a senior neurosurgeon and former director of surgical training at Monash Medical Centre. Dr. Imogen Ibbott accused Helen Maroulis of bullying and said she felt constant fear whilst working under her. Dr. Maroulis is currently under investigation for bullying and, while still working at Monash, is no longer performing operations or supervising trainees.
Thanks, Mark. In news, Fremantle Crowley is one step from learning his fate after facing the AFL's anti-doping tribunal yesterday. Crowley tested positive to a specified substance, believed to be a painkiller, last year, but was allowed to play out the season. He has been provisionally suspended since September, and if found guilty, the star midfielder could be suspended for a further 2 years, potentially ending his career. Former Brisbane Lions champion Jonathan Brown has told St Kilda Rewalt to take some time to consider his playing future following his latest concussion scare. Brown, speaking on Fox Footy's On the Couch, said that it was emotion out of the decision.
He needs all the dust to settle from exactly what we're talking about, all the heat that'll be on throughout the week, and just get away and really consult his family and I suppose think about what he wants going forward.
Moving to tennis, young gun Thanasi Kokkinakis has qualified for Wimbledon's main draw after winning his first senior event in a Challenger tournament in Bordeaux. Sam Stosur won overnight, defeating defending champion Monica Puig 6-3, 6-love in a return to form ahead of the French Open. Coming up on the programme, Nationals leaders Barnaby Joyce threatens to kill US actor Johnny Depp's dogs, Swedes threaten the Russian Navy with neon signs promoting gay sex, and Melbourne's apartments shrink in size as their prices grow. Prince Charles' confidential letters to government ministers have been published after a 10-year press freedom legal battle to have them released. The letters, known as Black Spider Memos because of Prince Charles' spindly handwriting, date back to 2004 and 5 and cover a range of issues including defence resources and farming. Prince Charles wrote to Prime Minister Tony Blair when he was in office to express concern over the equipment provided to British troops in Iraq. Clarence House immediately issued a statement criticising the release of the letters. New state government report has found that a vast majority of new apartments built in Melbourne would be considered unlivable in major cities around the world. The problem is expected to grow in the future as Melbourne's high-rise building boom continues, with no current regulations about the medium size of apartments. The report found that more than 75% of new one-bedroom apartments built in Melbourne have an area of less than 50 square metres, which would be considered illegal in Sydney, Adelaide and London. State Planning Minister Richard Wynne has conceded that many of the new homes are referred to as dog boxes and labelled them as not very livable and not very Melbourne. But as housing prices continue to rise, the Property Council of Australia has warned that an increase of even 5 square metres could add $45,000 to the cost of an apartment. Thanks, Alex. Still to come on Newsline, would you adopt a greyhound? And we review the Russian film Leviathan. Thanks, Will. It looks great. Well, if you saw ABC TV's Four Corners program on the greyhound racing industry, you'd realise just how cruel it can be. Unfortunately, some viewers took away the message that greyhounds are naturally aggressive, and that's why some trainers use live animals as bait to train greyhounds. Nothing could be further from the truth. As Daniel Braid reports, greyhounds that are allowed to retire from racing are making the most wonderful household pets. Thanks, Daniel. Now to sport with Sarah Ollie. And Sarah, it looks like an Australian could be coaching England's cricket team. Thanks, Sarah. And now to the weather. Expect the wet conditions to continue until tomorrow. In Melbourne, you can anticipate a top of 15 with showers in the morning. And in Geelong, it's much the same, the chance of morning showers and a top of 16. But the sun is set to return for the weekend, with a top of 17 in Melbourne and Geelong on Saturday.